live. Monetization. Well, let's see what we got here. Details.
Someone said Neal.
Well, can they hear me?
I don't know, ask.
Well, I know, but I can't even see myself. It just says my logo.
Do you see the comments coming in?
No. Hang on, folks. We don't do this often. We're trying to.
Lots of people saying hi. 49 people.
Oh my gosh, and I can't see a thing.
Your video and audio are good. Yes, sir. What's for dinner?
We had
ground turkey tacos.
ground turkey tacos. Trying to eat low-carb tortillas, too. How do we get this? We need to figure this out.
Annette says she finally caught you live. Hey, from Arizona. I can hear you.
Love Arizona.
We're technologically challenged. I don't know if they can hear me, though.
Well, right now, I still see my logo. Public. I don't see comments anywhere. Hang on, folks. Just hang on with me here now. I'm not the world's greatest.
He said, nice digs. Tell him you're coming from your living room. We can see and hear. Love from Raleigh. Here, turn your computer around.
Typically, let me do something real quick. Hang on. Sorry. This is how it goes. Typically, you can't hear or see, and now I can't hear or see. I don't see the stream coming through. Oh, maybe I need to click on it. Oh, I need to click on it. I got it, folks. I was able to walk and run today. Let's see.
Can you see the message?
There he is. That.
But you need to turn it on mute.
Well, I'll get there. All right.
Panama City, Bedford, Long Island.
There we go. All right, peeps. I'm in the game now. Here we go. Now I feel like I'm connected. Miss Kay Weston. Hello, ma'am. Like your show. Thanks, John.
Gaming season. Here, you got to look up here, honey.
I can't look up there and see the comments. That's a part of going live.
Push the other button, someone says. Yeah, we're newbies.
What other button?
I don't know.
No, I think we're on a roll now.
Go Navy.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Patriot whitetails. Boy, I wish I could get me one.
A whitetail?
Yes.
You cooking or just talking?
Just talking today. I'm going to do this more often, kind of like spontaneous, just to get to know people. I know a lot of people from around the world. You know, who would have thought a guy from East Tennessee could have somebody from England say, hey, how do you do this? I never expected it. But we get a lot of love from all over the world, so it's a good way to connect back and all that stuff. So I like it. Get close to the people that really support us the most and all that stuff. So push the other button. Yeah, I wish there was more buttons to push. Ask my wife. So now you're cooking with gas. Yes, ma'am. How long were you in the Navy? Where'd you serve? And what was your detail? 01 to 05, the USS Nassau, now decommissioned. And I was a cook, believe it or not. Deployed during 9/11. 9/11 happened while I was in. So obviously my time in was a lot different than a lot of other people's time. So the funny thing is, not getting political, that if you follow the news channel, the Iwo Jima has a lot of publicity lately because of what they've been doing. And that was actually our sister ship in Norfolk. That's pretty fun. U.S. Navy veteran, thank you for your service. All your videos from Detroit. You know, that's one place we haven't been, honey, is Detroit.
Yeah.
So
tell them your wife is already in her pajamas and not making an appearance.
no, I'm not telling them nothing. You're going to have to tell them that in your pajamas. Outside. I used to own several businesses, but this has kind of taken off. Our seasoning company is Doing a little okay. So I was able to sell the businesses and really focus on the things I can control. So we kind of do this full time. Wouldn't say very successful, but we are trying to do it full time. So the grind is real for sure. Hey, from Middle Tennessee. Poppin', good one. How you doing, buddy? I need some of your seasonings in store. Hey, I'm all about it. D. McDaniel, 1984. If you can get me in, I'd love to. It is a.
Your comments are way delayed.
There's nothing I can do about it. Honey. There is.
Zoom down.
I am. I'm all the way down. I am all the way down. 84 to 88 aviation. Just to give you a little idea, I was barely even born. My best friend, that three of us joined the Navy together as the buddy program, and one was aviation. So I know a lot about that. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying.
Someone said their son is in Newport News shipbuilding.
Ah, my wife went to college in Newport News. So.
And you were stationed in Norfolk.
And I was stationed in Norfolk. Oh, about the, there's something about something on there. It's hard to keep up with the seasonings. It is a crowded market, way more than I ever imagined. So just because you believe in yourself doesn't mean that you have the ability to have other people believe in you. And that has been a hurdle. So great job, big fan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's your favorite flat top? From day one has been the Traeger, but that's because of my personal likes. I do think that what I've started to do is a tiered system versus just what I like. Because what I like could be, and the reasons why I like it definitely could be different from the reasons why you like yours. I think the Weber Slate is a home run in every step of the facet because I think it's extremely user-friendly. And so far, it seems like the feedback, even on my experience, you definitely don't have to worry about the rust near as much. Matter of fact, we just filmed a video that's not even published yet, and it was on a stainless steel. I really like that new Solo griddle. Completely different. I understand it's got a corks. It's not for everyone, but that doesn't mean I still can't like it. But when you use rolled steel, you're going to have to use it to keep the rust off. Whereas a stainless steel, you can kind of like throw it to the side and not really worry about it as much when you don't want to. So there's goods and bads. So I do like the Traeger Flat Rock. I like it. I'll tell you why I like it really quick, because I love the fact that it can stay low on low. Remember that, low on low. I have a question about my flat top. Ram Jam 21, brother. If you like hopefully like a Ram. I like a Ram too. 67-7 Navy. Wow, buddy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your service. Sister was in the Navy about the same time on the Frank Cable sub-tender in Guam. That's pretty neat. Never had a chance to go there. Matter of fact, when we deployed, it was so bad that we had something called a pier party because we couldn't even get off the pier because the threat level to us was so high. And then there were two ports that we were not even allowed to enter, so we had to enter another port twice that nobody wanted to go to, but at least you got off the ship for a couple of days. But we had to stay on base, which nobody wants to be on base after being deployed like that. So our deployment was crazy. Thank you, 820 Chief 7. Long Island, New York. Love my New Yorkers. Jacksonville, Florida. Love it down there. Is that where I did my culinary school, or is that Mayport?
Mayport, I don't know.
I think I went to culinary school either in Jacksonville or Mayport. And then we did a, what do you call it when we go to port? We did a sea duty excursion and then went down there. All right, here we go. Let me get back to the basics.
Someone said I should cook again.
I agree. Let her cook. Let me film. Without a cover, how do I keep the squirrels and feeding mice from walking all over it? Even raccoons, I clean and clean, but you're never going to stop it. If you don't have a cover for it, you can forget it. It doesn't matter what you clean. There's grease on the outside of your griddle. There's grease on the deck. There's probably grease splatter. Way more. It's almost like if you did a blue light and you shined it. You got to remember, animals are way more sophisticated in the senses than humans are. Man, they can spot and smile and sense from hundreds of yards away.
Smell, not smile.
Oh, what did I say?
Smile.
Well, they smile when they smell it. So you're not going, unless you put a cover on it, you're not going to stop it. Subservice here, U.S. Omaha. Love you guys. Thank you for your service. John Zingwa. That's something I have mad respect for. I actually have never been on a sub, but had some friends that I went to school with that were sub people, and our experiences were vastly different. Um, Mad respect for that. That's pretty tough. Louisiana, love my Louisiana people. Love my Louisiana food. I think Mexican food's my favorite, but if I really had to cook, it'd have to be my Louisiana style food. I love Louisiana style food. We did tasso. We posted it recently. Hey, from Louisiana, I don't know if you follow my other channel, Pellets and Pits, but I made homemade tasso. Fantastic. Screwed it up, but the point is I got lucky, and it really came out really good. I cannot wait to use it in a recipe coming up. You got the Titans win the Super. Not a Titans fan, even though from East Tennessee, I'm more of a Tennessee Volunteers fan. Can't stand the Titans. Mayport is in Jacksonville. Didn't know that. Mayport maybe is the best. I don't know. I know I told you went to one of them. It's been a long time. Served in the Navy, 87 to 91, attached to the P3 squadron. That's pretty cool. Thank you for your service, brother. How long did it take you to master the griddle? Not long, because I was in the Navy. So in the Navy, even in culinary school, matter of fact, even in boot camp, they were cooking on griddles. And then you get 1 week called service duty. And you're supposed to help out in the galley for all the trash, all the cleaning, all the cooking, all the breakouts. And of course, you got to do your boot camp stuff. But even then, I knew I wanted to be a cook. I cooked in high school at some restaurants, high-end restaurants in Knoxville. Never caught on to the high-end bug. I actually, believe it or not, despise the fact that you have to garnish with a set of tongs or tweezers. I'm not about that. I enjoy it sometimes when I go out, but I do not like preparing it. Anyway, so I went to the Navy. Immediately to culinary school, and griddle was a part of it. And we shared a culinary school with the Air Force on Air Force's base, Lackland, Florida, San Antonio, Texas. And then nobody wants to be on the griddle because it's so hard to do, because breakfast is crazy. Typically, breakfast, no matter what it is always the busiest meal. Either you're at sea or even in port, because that's when the most people are up and about. Either switching over from day on to day off. They always get a breakfast before they go home. Night shift ends. They want to get a breakfast before they go home. Whatever it is. But the griddle sucks because you have to clean it so much. And it's a stainless steel griddle. We use a grill brick every single night. And it had to be detailed like complete. I think it was 48 inches wide. But it had to be detailed even into the spot of like toothpicks. And so the older sailors, mentors, petty officers, enlisted, did not want to do it. So the first thing you did when you got to the fleet, get your A on the griddle and start learning. Like sink or swim, buddy, because that's all you're going to do. And if you couldn't do that, you went to the salad bar. So kind of like one of those things. And I knew for a fact, what, my belly showing?
You did not end up at the salad bar.
Yeah, you can tell salad was not my fan. I knew for a fact, after talking with people, that I wanted to be off the griddle as fast as possible. So I had it in my mind to master the griddle as fast as possible, because then you can move to like fryers, ovens. From ovens and fryers, then you move typically to the, what are they called, honey? The big ones? The copper pit. That's where you make like all the stews and stuff like that. That's when you're really controlling the galley. That's awesome, Cody. Yeah, absolutely, man. Reach out anytime. You do a good job. We're doing a tour on your new deck and kitchen. Love that. Thanks for the knowledge. Absolutely. So we're actually in the process of editing now. I am not an editor. I am not a photographer or a filmer. So mine is ratchet as can be. I'll do the best I can. But we actually have a lot of footage already downloaded, already edited. I need to do a couple voiceovers to kind of walk you through it. We're actually waiting on sides to be installed. That's going to come next week, so hopefully we can get that in. So I've been waiting on a reason, because once I do showcase everything, I would like it to be completely done. But you guys know how construction is. Sometimes, man, you swing and miss, and things get delayed and all that other stuff.
But we were going to show them kind of like a walkthrough of how we built the back thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that, but more importantly, what I did focus on was how we built our outdoor kitchen, which I'm really proud of, because it's not a cookie cutter system. And I really feel like it might give some people some insight. So when they go to build, because we have a lot of people commenting, especially on the Griddle group on Facebook, they're planning on doing an outdoor kitchen. How do you do X, Y, Z? And I don't think there's one true answer. I think each person has their own unique circumstances and settings, how they want to build and all that stuff. And I'll kind of walk you through our process of what we're thinking, all that stuff. What hobbies? I love the outdoors. I'm an outdoor fanatic. I do not have a lot of time. It's funny. We own multiple businesses. I had more time doing that than I do with social media. So take that for what it's worth. It seems like I work my butt off with social media. Fishing and hunting. I don't do a lot of hunting anymore. Try to, but fishing. There's a lot of water around East Tennessee. It's free. Obviously, you got to pay your permits and all that stuff. But I try to fish as much as possible. Grew up fishing. Fish a lot with my dad. And then the normal stuff. We got 2 kids. One's at high school. One's in middle school. And middle school one's super busy with extracurriculars. My oldest one started working, so that's fun. So we get to go to her job and harass her. You guys know how the parent life is. Just arguing with them about dinner and stuff like that. So I love sports. College football. I'm a big college football fan. Hubby did 20 words in the Navy. He was a 1C1 SW. That's awesome. Thank you for his service, Miss Karen. I could hear you. Good. If you could only keep one of your smokers or griddles, which would you keep? So let's keep both. Let's definitely keep the Traeger because right now it's my favorite. But I mean, I could keep the. Matter of fact, I can keep any of them. Now that I've learned so much, it's just what you get used to. So I don't feel like I kind of feel like I've stumbled upon a job that people want me to do that I never intended to do, which was review griddles. I think a lot of people take my criticism harshly, but ultimately my goal is to tell you the goods, bads, the uglies, all of it. So you can make the decision based on the information that I've received. I always felt like it doesn't matter if I give you the recommendation or if I give you what I see. Somebody else, if I give it to you wrong, then our griddles are completely different, or somebody else is going to tell you the same thing that I told you, right? So if the heat is, the heat is, right? If it stays on low, it stays on low. So I think whatever griddle you have, look at the cars on the road, right? I'm sure there's other cars out there that you wish that you could have based on the features they have, but they all get you to point A to point B.
Can I say something? Can they hear
You're
me?
not even supposed to be here.
I know. Can they hear me?
I hope not.
You know I can't not.
But you're supposed to be in your bedroom. You said you can do this by yourself.
Well,
I do think the Weber slate right now is really kicking A and taking names because the ability for it to lack maintenance because of the rust-resistant griddle top right now is just really, really unique. It's cheaper than stainless. It's easy to maintain. It gets exceptional results.
they can hear me. They
Yeah.
can
Oh
hear me.
man,
Look
that
at
sucks.
So I
That
can
sucks.
join in without getting dressed.
She's not naked. I can tell you that.
I have my pajamas on. They asked, what is one smoker or griddle you could never get rid of? And I would say that one piece of outdoor cooking equipment, if you could only have one thing ever, period,
My
would
Weber
be your
Summit
Weber
Summit charcoal grill. Yeah, my Weber Summit charcoal grill. I think it's the power horse. I think it's the sleeping giant. I can't believe there's not more money put behind it. I just love it. Anyways, the Weber Summit charcoal grill. So
It's called a Kamado, but it's not ceramic.
yeah, we are from Pittsburgh, but vacation here in Tennessee. Go both to Nashville and the Smokies. Love it there. That's awesome. We haven't been to Pittsburgh either. I think I've flown into Pittsburgh, but I have not actually been to Pittsburgh or Detroit. I can't and review non-Sam's griddles. What's your take on them?
Oh, the Sam's? We've never used a Sam's griddle.
Ronald Holst. I've actually never used a Sam's griddle. Best pizza in Knox Vegas. Baker Boys.
They're gonna hate my
Yeah,
pizza.
Amy likes Domino's.
Domino's, because they have a drive-through, so I can take a shower and then I can have my wet hair and my pajamas on and I can go pick it up in the drive-through and it's close to the house.
Lately, though, I gotta be honest with you, it's been missing a lot. There's sometimes if you get it done right, it's really good, but other times, I can't stand it. I think there's a really good one. There's a Dopo that gets really high reviews. It's a little uppity for me, but Baker Boys pizza is really good. It kind of brings me back to like the more traditional style pizza. That's really good. You know, Knoxville in general doesn't have a lot of mom and pops, and it's not because they're not successful. It's just there is a ton of franchises. I mean, a ton of franchise chain restaurants. Kind of weird. You go to Chattanooga, just a couple hours south of us, and it's full of mom and pops that absolutely thrive. You go to Nashville, tons of mom and pops. Uh, Love by Weber insert. Yeah, I love my Weber makes good stuff. What's your favorite dish to make right now? Mine currently is homemade banana pudding dessert. Oh God.
Who said that? Whoever said that is speaking to his
Oh
heart.
my God, I love banana pudding. Bubba, Buddy's podcast, 2123. Brother, you're speaking to it.
That's his favorite, banana pudding.
Somebody just said on one of my videos I did for banana pudding, they said substitute the wafers for Nutter Butters. And I was like, you have got me. Yes, absolutely. So I wouldn't say, like, right now I'm on a health kick. 4 years ago, I lost about 65, 62 pounds. I had to. I've gained quite a bit back, not the full amount. And I promised myself I'd never get back to that threshold again. And this January, we knew for a fact, after our traveling from November and December, that it was something I needed to do. So right now I'm extremely careful about what I eat. And it's just a choice that I've made. So unfortunately, nothing good for me right now. Matter of fact, my kid's disappointed she couldn't go to a jump park with her friends, which I don't blame her. Dad's horrible. But we were like, hey, we could buy you nail polish instead. And she's like, no, you can take me to an ice cream place. And I'm like, no, because if I take you to an ice cream place, I've got to have it too. So nail polish it is. There we go, Todd. GBO. Brother, we're kind of cooking in that, pun intended, baby. Cooking in the portal department lately. Other plans to add products to your site, seasoning, etc. I do have a plan. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I am a huge brine fan, and I do not think brines need to be used one time a year. I think it's perfect for poultry, even chicken wings, even chicken throughout the year. I would love to come out with a universal brine for poultry. And guess what it'd be called?
Brine that.
Brine that. I just think if done correctly, it just adds so much flavor. Anyways, that's one of them. We thought about coming out with a sauce for a burger. That's a whole different company we got to deal with. And of course, that would be called
Sauce that.
Or spread that. Sauce that or spread that. Kind of like a burger sauce, But then you get into plastics and just food. I didn't really want to get in that. So I don't really know. We just launched aprons, and you really never know what's around the corner. I thought I had to end with a company with a knife. That might work out later down the road. We'll see. I've used them on the back end. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. You wouldn't choose the Lone Star grills to be my number one. I would use, I would choose the Weber Summit charcoal grill before I would choose any pellet smoker, no matter what it is. I think the Lone Star grill is definitely one. It's not the fact I can't do without. But there are other ones that are up there with it without spending the big bucks. Now, if you want to do, like the whole idea of like supporting American-made companies, American-made businesses, then, that's the decision you guys got to make. But if Lone Star produces like 8 out of 10, I think you can get a smoker that does 7 out of 10 with good accessories and be right up there with it. So it's not the fact I couldn't live without it, but it doesn't mean it's not a dang good grill. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. But I'm a charcoal fan. Of course, you can grill steaks a little bit different. I guess you could on the Lone Star too. Anyways, what is the Weber slate made out of? It's made out of. Well, I probably shouldn't. You'll probably need to contact. What I was told was, it's not about what it's made out of. It's about the process. What do you call it, honey?
To make it rust resistant.
Yeah, it's about the process. They actually, maybe I'm completely wrong, but it sounded like to me was rust resistant was a afterthought of how they actually season the griddle. So they wanted to have a pre-seasoned griddle, and rust resistant actually happened because of a reason to pre-season. It was kind of weird. I don't think that was their mentality going in. I think it was an afterthought, and I don't know if they stumbled upon it or they lucked out on it, but I could be wrong. But that's the way I interpret it. And basically, they hit a home run, lightning in a bottle. For you, kind of say what you say. Have you ever used a cabinet smoker? I haven't. I've looked at them. I've got really good connections with Pit Boss, and I really wanted one. I got good connection with Camp Chef too. And every single time I get one, I look at it like only a smoker, And then you look at a pellet, like for example, like I said, I'm really good friends with Pit Boss. Well, Pit Boss, if you get their barrel, traditional style pellet smoker, they've got the flame lever. So then you open that up and then you can sear a steak, burger, or something like that. So I've always struggled mentally of like, if I have a cabinet smoker, it is only used for smoking. And I just never done it. I do know the Camp Chef though, they still make them, the XXL. I don't know if there's one smaller. I can't remember. But, you can add the wood chips or the charcoal chunks into a cabinet smoker as well. I have a hard time keeping the rust off the griddle. You and me both. Money Pit Homestead. So, not only is maintenance important, it's hard for me to say this and like put my credibility on the line, but even I have rust problems. Some griddles more than others, which means I know I'm doing it right because I can teach you how to keep the rust off. And one griddle, I'm not going to name names, will rust all the time. The other griddle stays pristine for, months at a time. I really think that it comes down to proper maintenance and using the griddle. I think when people store their griddles, even for 3 to 4 weeks, it surprises them about the bacteria growth, about the rust that happens in different areas. I would just suggest even the long holds. A lot of people from Canada, a lot of people from Florida, when you have a second home, obviously it's a lot tougher, right? But if you have a griddle and you completely just abandon it for weeks and months on end, I think that's bad. When you have a pretty day, just plan on using it. You don't even have to use the griddle. Take the cover off, let it dry out, turn it on, heat it up, add a layer of oil, cut it back down, and then store it again, right? I just think that long hold is really what surprises people.
Make some eggs or something.
Well, I mean, like I said, you don't have to cook anything. You could cook on your grill while your smoker's going. You really don't have to cook anything on it, but I think you do need to turn it on and just air it out. I have a Kamado Joe, but want to try a cabinet. Yeah. The only thing about the Kamado Joe, though, you have the open flame, whereas a cabinet is just pure smoke. So she will drive to Domino's in her PJs, but see us online and she can't see her. Trust me, it's brutal. She is a PJ fan. I add pineapple to what?
Banana pudding, I think it said.
Really?
You're like super, yeah.
I'm not worried because I'm answering questions. People want to know. Brine and jalapeno juice, excellent. Absolutely. I love hearing your wife's laugh. You are the only one. I add pineapple.
That is true. I hate my laugh.
I add pineapple to banana pudding.
People hate my laugh too.
Kay Weston, send me that recipe. That might be the first thing I have off my diet. Please give me the pick 3 option for your seasonings. My family goes through shake that way faster than the rest, but love them all. So
the reason why we do the OG3 is to better plan the inventory.
The crazy thing is, I'm going to give you like a snapshot in my life really quick. So when we went down to do our seasonings, we had 2 on mine. I actually went down there for 1. Our very first one was Smash That. And while we're driving down there, my wife says, if we're going down there for 1, we might as well do 2. And I said, what's 2? She goes, we should just do an all-purpose seasoning. So we created in our mind an all-purpose seasoning on the way down there. And then we tested the 2 down there and left the facility with 2 home runs. That was Smash That and that was Shake That. Then I knew that I wanted a barbecue seasoning. But I knew I am not in the barbecue top 5, top 10, hell, top 100, right? So I didn't look at it like I was a barbecue guru. I just knew that there is good barbecue seasoning and there's bad barbecue seasoning. It took us 9.5 months of testing to come out with a barbecue seasoning because I really, truly wanted to love it. I did not want to put lipstick on a pig. I think we did it. Lo and behold, Shake That's our number one, and turned out daggum Q That's number two. So if you haven't tried Q That, I'd highly recommend it. It seems like it gets a lot of love. People reorder it on repeat. We might even have to come out with a 5-pound bag because you go through so much barbecue seasoning. People say that about Shake That. We never thought about it. I understand it's, costly. Maybe we can do like a rewards program, kind of like a,
Loyalty.
like a loyalty program. I don't know how we would do it. How would we keep track of it? We're only a small business. Anyways, and then if you really like Shake That, we broke it down to about 50%, added a bunch of other stuff to it, basically buttermilk powder and dried jalapenos, and that's how we developed Spice That. Fiesta That is really like an all-purpose, like it's not a taco seasoning.
It's great on wings. Did we publish that video? We published that
Today.
video today.
It's not a taco seasoning, and it's not a fajita seasoning. I look at it like an all-purpose Mexican seasoning where the chipotles, the chili powders, the paprikas, the cumins come through, and then you can kind of like sort through it as you go, like how you want your seasoning to be. But I'm really proud of Q That. Really proud of Q That. It's been wet here in Maryville. Well, it's been wet here too.
We're not far away.
Yeah, we're not far away. Spread that has offer connotations. Has other.
Other connotations. Neal might not know what the word connotations means.
I do. The way my wife laughed, I do now. Then salad seasoning. Toss that. Oh!
Just all the verbs. What are all the verbs?
All right, let me get back. Love your channels. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Destella. George Ballas. The main reason why you sold your ultimate ceramic grill because you couldn't use metal on it. I bought it because of you in 4 years now. It's working fantastic. George, buddy, I love to hear that. I truly do. The last thing I ever want to do is anybody buy something because I recommend it, they hate it. It's never my goal. And the last thing I wanted to say is it's never my intention for somebody to have a bad griddle experience, no matter if it be a spatula, a recipe, or a piece of equipment. Obviously, if you didn't like griddles, I wouldn't even have a channel. So when people come out of the woodwork and say, oh, he's bashing this company, or oh, blah, 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 why would I ever want to have a bad, what's it called? Like experience griddle-wise. So I'm really glad that my experience did not deter you from getting one and having a good experience. Are you able to purchase your seasoning spice in local stores? Ingles. 7 out of 8 local stores have Ingles. One of them is just a long ways away. So Ingles has it. TMG Pits, Hearth and Patio, and Butler and Bailey off of North Shore in the Rocky Hill area. Is that all of them?
If you're local in East Tennessee.
That's East Tennessee. There's a company, there's a steakhouse in Wyoming called Miners and Stockmans. That's in Hartville.
Shout out to Scott.
Yeah, shout out to Scott. Not Knoxville. Wyoming's oldest bar. What history on that bar back? Beautiful. I think it's got the bullet hole in it still, doesn't it? The glass.
That's where Neal was a chef when we lived in Wyoming.
And then there's actually a company, was it Utah or Idaho? There's a company, maybe Salt Lake, no, somewhere out there too that has it. Troy in Tennessee, you got a good setup there, brother. Let's see, Roland Holston, did you serve and cook on the Baleo Wood LHA3 RGA cooks were fabulous there. I was on board in 1993 to restore hope. No, I was on the LHA4. So you must have been West Coast because I don't remember that one. Never even heard of that one. Best size meatball for a smash burger. We just went over that. About 2.5 ounces.
Did we do a video on that?
Yeah, we just did a thick burger.
Oh, yeah, that hasn't posted.
I know that. We just did a video. Has not posted. About 2.5 ounces. Sometimes, honestly, I know people want that paper thin. I wish there was people tell me all the time my videos are too long, and I understand that. But there's so much daggum information to give. It's hard to know when to shut up, like today, right? But the point is, you could have a fantastic smash burger without being super thin and lacy. Sometimes I like that smash burger to have just a little 1/4 inch, not much more than that, maybe less, definitely less than 1/2 inch, 1/3 inch girth to it. So it does stay a little bit juicy, but you get a fantastic sear patch. And when you flip it over, it takes just a little bit longer to cook, and you're able to start rendering the fat out a little bit before you melt the cheese. So I'd say about 2.5 to 3 ounces. But just because you go heavier on the ounce ball, don't go wider, right? Don't spread it out like paper thin. You can still keep it bun length or bun width. Just have a little bit more girth. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody's come to your house with a dang ruler and saying your smash burger's too thick. Thank you for the great advice regarding the restaurant and grill. I do appreciate your honest feedback. Yes, sir. That's what I'm here for. Your post helped us to choose a flat top I'm currently on. I saw your post with TMG on the Santa Maria grill and actually purchased the one you cooked on. Oh, that's pretty cool. You should harass them and tell them you should get the seasonings for free. Tell them from them, not from me, because they buy it from me. Hey, the Flat Top King Landon family. Thank you, Richard. My daughter's back here scouring at me, too. So, let's see. Where are we at here? Lipstick on a pig. Sounds like my high school prom date. Speaking of smash that like button. Hey, I'll do it too. Well, you know.
Read faster, Hank. Someone said Amy should be sitting next to you. Next one I will.
Somebody said team spread that. If you guys think that's good, imagine a Caribbean style seasoning, but you don't use the Caribbean name.
It's a Jamaican jerk. Let's say that.
Yeah.
We're going to come up with that. And then we were like, no, we cannot put that on a bottle. Jamaican jerk. Just think about that.
A seasoning that I got, Members Mark Hatch chili seasoning is freaking awesome. But then again, I absolutely love Hatch. That's true. You can't make silk purse out of sour's ear. That's true. I want to replace my Pit Boss smoker. I have an older Austin XL. Looking at the Navigator. Hey, the Navigator, I don't work for companies. The Navigator, honestly, was one of my favorite traditional pellet style grills. It was the very first one I had. I had no problems out of mine. I know they've done an update, and I do know for a fact that it's been really well received. I would say if you've had success with Pit Boss in the past and you want to go with it, absolutely the Navigator. I enjoyed mine a lot. Love my sear wood. Had it less than a year, and it's hardly cooled down. I love the accessory line. When I was at Weber, I could not express to them enough my enjoyment for how they think outside the box when it comes to a grill and accessories. I think Weber right now is number one when it comes to the full grill experience. I wish they would focus a little bit more on the charcoal grill side. I understand why they don't. That's a business decision they've made now that it's been explained to me. But
they have the rotisserie, which you love.
Love the rotisserie. I do. And they actually have a rotisserie basket. And I need to get one. It's a basket. You can put wings on there. Vegetables. It
looks like bingo balls rolling around.
And the griddle. And looking back, I probably should have got the griddle accessory. I probably could buy it myself. But I do so much griddle cooking on the Flat Top King. I try to stay away from griddle cooking on pellets and pits because it's kind of like my stress relief. But they do have the griddle option, full or half griddle insert. Do you ever ship to Canada? That is something we are trying to do.
We're working on it.
We've been working on it for 3 years, but there's been more of a influx this year than ever because the amount of support we get from Canada. It's not because I don't love you guys, but it's not tariffs is what you guys think of. It's how the tax code works. It's way above my pay grade.
We're trying to figure it out.
And when there's so much time in a day and there's other things going on, we can only allocate so much time and effort to so much stuff. Did you ever try Bigfoot Philly cheesesteak in Sevierville? I have not yet. It's on the list. We haven't been in Sevierville in forever. That place is just too dadgum crowded. Golly, man. They need to have keep the out-of-towners out, like the people that live here go there for a couple of days. Would you be open to letting to purchase any 3 seasonings for the $29.99 instead of the original ones? And can you make it a bulk bag seasoning? The bulk bag we've thought about. We just don't know yet. The only bag, so really and truly, this is just being brutally honest. We probably would not open it up to just throw whatever seasoning you want for $29.99 because we can't keep track of it. We're only a small business, and it's extremely hard to keep our inventory straight. So that's why certain seasonings are in there. I know it sucks for you guys. I'm just being brutally honest. As a mom and pop, literally, Why you see the team right here between the videos, media sessions, editing, our
Websites.
kids, our websites, running the seasoning business, running the presses, running the everything. We just can't. There's only so much time, which is why I'm sitting here blabbering. Like, why don't you get off here and just do some work? Oh, Nova Scotia. That's awesome. Cheers, mate. I guess that's not Nova Scotia speak, but that's pretty cool.
Australia.
Yep. That's not long enough. They're not long enough. You talking about the
Videos.
cheese steak? Oh,
I think
the videos or the
Because
cheesesteaks?
some other people said that our videos are not long enough either.
Oh, trust me. All you guys got to do is read the comments. I could put a pot of boiling water on and let the comments roll. You know, dang, this idiot thinks that hot water cooks faster than cold water. Everybody knows that you shouldn't put a lid on water to make it boil faster. Everybody knows that the type of salt you use doesn't make. I mean, I'm just. Videos aren't long enough. Okay. Neal and Amy, thanks for costing me a fortune with all the toys I've bought from all the videos, Steve. I agree, brother. I hear that a lot. What's up, shipmate? Love the videos. Old Kitty Hawk here. Loves cooking. That's awesome. Thank you for your service, Mr. Don Christ. Thanks for the smash burger info. Absolutely. Amy should be on your side. Food is great according to their ums. Well, she's in her PJs. She's had her shower. And nobody in America sees after that. Trust me. Have you ever seasoned cast iron on a flat top? Would not recommend it. So cast iron takes a long time to heat up. The whole point, I'd much rather use a charcoal grill, a pellet grill, or even an oven. Oven's the best way to go, period. You're trying to heat a plate and then another plate. Can you? Yes, but the amount of propane you would actually be better off taking the plate off your griddle and putting the cast iron on above the flame if you could. I don't even know if, the old Kent Chefs, the very first griddle I ever had was a Kent Chef flat top grill. And you could actually remove, that's actually why I bought it. You would move the griddle top and replace grill grates with it, and then you had an open grill. The only problem is you didn't have a lid for it. But even that would probably work better, but they don't make those anymore, and I would not recommend it. Oven, 100%. Traps in the smoke too. You can turn on your oven, your hood vent, and you're good to go. Bought a 22-inch Weber Master Touch of the summer. What are your thoughts on the ceramic insert kits? Brett Wetzel, I didn't know they had ceramic insert kits for Weber. First time hearing about it. I'll have to look at it up. I didn't know they made it. I would not recommend it. That's why I feel like the Weber Summit Charcoal is better than my Primo. Is because I feel like the Primo is so well insulated that it has the ceramic, an air gap, and then another ceramic area, that it doesn't allow the charcoal to breathe, which smothers the charcoal, which means you're not using fuel, which means I don't think you get a real smoky flavor on it. If you take the same exact, I'm a blue bag charcoal fan when it comes from Kingsford. That's what I grew up on. It's what I use. I think it's neutral. I think it allows you to add, I think Jealous Devil charcoal is the most aggressive smoke flavored charcoal I've ever used. I would not recommend adding extra wood splits to Jealous Devil wood. That being said, on the Kingsford side, I think it's right there in the sweet spot. You can add your choices of wood chunks or chips. But if you're able to adjust the vents more, you'll notice that you burn through more coal. And people always talk about the efficiency of the ceramic, and I completely agree. That's also its downfall. Whereas, they'll say, oh, I can use a whole bag on like 36 hours. Great. But what flavor? Think about a stick burner. When you throw a stick burner together, especially on my TMG pits or most really good stick burners, you're going through like a split of wood probably every 30, 45 minutes. So you're going through that volume. All that gets burned down and produces smoke. Well, if you only burn one split of wood, you're not going through that smoke, right? The smoke's not moving over it. So that's why I like the Weber. So when it comes to ceramic inserts, I'd be more apt to stay away from it because you want that Weber to be able to breathe and burn. Come to Minnesota and catch some fish through the ice and cook them. Absolutely. Dude, I'd love that. Don't forget, rub that. Yep, that's what that was our second choice when it came to Q that. We actually did a contest, and Q that won, and rub that came in second. Rocking a 28-inch Blackstone and a Pit Boss pellet. It's a hell of a combination right there. You can't go wrong with it. I'm going bigger with the offset smoker. True. I have the large Traeger and love it. Yep. Do love the kitchen outdoor remodels. Thank you, Steve. I bought the Beaver drop-in commercial slicer for slicing meats and cheeses. Everybody's loving it. That's awesome. Meat slicer is, yeah. I got my flat top griddle because you've been watching your family and love almost everything you've done. Just can't do that Duke's crap. Wish I could afford a pellet smoker.
Maybe you can get one on Marketplace.
Yeah, I think Aftermarket's a really good place too. But I'm also from Texas. They got plenty of ones out there. Your videos aren't long enough. Your fried rice is making the best. Your fried rice making is the best. It's quite a view. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. Did you know that water boils faster if you heat it in Celsius? Or just heat the cast iron on briquettes on the ground. Yeah, that's another one too. Do you like to have a tandoor clay oven?
We've never used that.
Don't have one. Never used one. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd kind of be. We actually have nowhere near it, but kind of similar with TMG. I guess it's called the Forge. It's ceramic coated. I think I've done one video on it. It's kind of neat. No, I think it'd be more like a. I think you'd have to cook that food often to justify it, right? Whether it be the naan slapped against the side of the wall or the skewers. And I find myself cooking a lot of things. And typically when something's like that, you don't really get like a lot of use out of it unless you stay in that lane. Dang, TMG Pits has some nice girls. They do. That's for sure. Drop-in slicer, looking at what you're talking about. Thoroughly watch your channel. Got me some apron. I was like, appreciate the apron. I just got into the chat. Why aren't you in your new studio? Well,
this was very spontaneous.
Because this is more comfortable. The kitchen's behind me. And
Neal and I were in the bathtub an hour ago, and he said, I think I'm going to go live tonight. That's probably too much information.
Is either the bathtub of my wife or going live, and I'm like, I'm going live. How's your running going? Thank you, Dave. You know what? Let's talk about my running. Stressful. Sometimes I get in really good rhythms where 3.5 miles seem easy. Sometimes I push it to 4.5. Very few times I hit 5 miles. Usually 3 to 4 times a year I hit the 5 mile mark. But I don't know if it's the way my body's made. But I've always, and I truly mean this, as far back as 6th grade when I played soccer, I've never considered myself a runner. I've always been big. I've always struggled with running. There's other people that run so effortlessly, even at my size, and it feels like I'm a 3-legged polar bear with a broken ankle, overweight, and can't stumble down the hill. The problem I have is every time we go on vacation, every time bad weather hits, every time I just miss a few days, it's like starting from square one. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you know, you had a bad day of running. I'm talking about like I'll get like bad leg cramps, the back of my heels. I'll get shin splints, or I get like intense cramps in my stomach. And sometimes my legs just are like, hell no, not today, brother. And they feel like anvils on the ground. So my running is great. I just wish I could have more consistency throughout the year. I would like to run longer. I'm okay with my pace, about 10 minutes, 15 to 30 seconds a mile. If I wanted to push it faster, I could, but I try to run more often because I do enjoy it. That's kind of like my time to listen to my sports talk. I told you I'm a Tennessee fan, so I like to listen to sports talk in the afternoons, or like a podcast with sports or something like that. I enjoy sweating. I enjoy like what's it called? Exertion? Something like that. So overall, I just wish I could get more consistent. It seems like the older I get, the less consistent I get. So that's a struggle.
Someone just said we should do a Charcoal 101 series. That's a good idea.
What?
All about, so on the comments that I'm seeing on the screen, just said we should do a Charcoal 101 series.
Well, you know what?
That
My
is a good
channel
idea.
started off as the Charcoal King and nobody wanted to watch it. And we ended up getting my third video. Let me just tell you, okay? My third video ever. You can go back. It's all public knowledge. My third video ever. We had a smoker. And It needed a gasket seal. So we just filmed the gasket seal. The video was actually never supposed to be posted. Lo and behold, it was like one of my highest rated videos for like, 6 or 8 months. And in that video, I said, I'm thinking about getting rid of the smoker, but I want to get a pellet grill. That was right during COVID. And I was going to the dentist and I was looking up pellet smokers. And I had one of those dang ads pop up, and it was from Camp Chef, and it was a flat top grill. Didn't even know they existed. Never even heard of the name Blackstone. Never even heard of the name Kitchen because I was not in that space. I had my Weber kettle and I was fine. At that time I had what? The Weber Performer, the one with the table, and because I grew up on Webers. And as soon as I saw the Camp Chef grill, the flat iron grill, then I started doing research. Then I knew it was between Blackstone and Camp Chef. But the reason why I got the Camp Chef over the Blackstone was only because I felt like at the time we're on a one-income family. And I could justify it by saying I could remove the griddle top and it had a grill. So I got best of both worlds. And we started doing videos on that. Well, if you look at your algorithms, we started noticing that our flat top grill videos from Camp Chef were outpacing our grill videos by a large margin. And then time went on, lo and behold, we did the switch and we never looked back. And then that's actually why I started Pellets and Pits, was because my true love of barbecue outweighs my love for griddling. And I left it open to the audience. Would you rather see me combine all the stuff on one channel or break it up in 2 channels? And about, what did we say? About 70% of people said break it up.
Yeah.
So that's why I did. So
now we're back to the grilling though on the spinoff. Pellets and Pits. You do a lot more charcoal on Pellets and Pits.
I do. So I don't even know if you know that, but I do have another channel. It's called Pellets and Pits. And that's why I was talking about my Weber Summit kettle. We have the Weber Summit. We have the Weber kettle. We have the what do you call it? The Primo.
Oh.
So
I
do
if we did a Charcoal 101 series, it would be on Pellets and Pits. And
yes.
that is a very good idea. We'll put that on the list.
Had fun this year. My first flat top. You need a commercial with some of your sauces and call it Squeeze It and Squeeze That. TMI. No, I'm sure they'll talk about the bathtub. The temperature chart has really improved my game. Thank you enough for all the advice and guidance you guys make. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, she's actually still in the tub. This explains a lot. No, she's right behind me. So actually the kitchen is right behind me. But so what happened is like we actually redid our kitchen and our living room looks so old and outdated. We actually redid the living room and matched the kitchen. So you guys technically are seeing the upgraded part, just not the kitchen. Just bought a griddle. Sorry. Just bought a griddle for my Genesis. Looking forward to seasoning it.
Hey, that was great. That the griddle insert on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Is really good.
That's why I cycle, just not built to run. Yep, I've tried it. There's, to be honest with you, it's laziness. I would have to pick up the bike, put the bike in the truck, and take the truck somewhere to bike. There's a fantastic, like, what's it, like 32-mile bike track south of us. It's like 30 minutes. And there's another one about probably 20 minutes northeast of us that's really good too. But when I run right out of my house, run 2 different neighborhoods, and I can get 3.5 miles in. I agree, though. Cycling would be better. What I want to do, I wish I could invent it. Obviously, money's always an option. But I would love to have like a setup to where I could put like one of those tracks that you run on. What's it called? Like not a
treadmill?
Yeah, a treadmill. Roll it out of like a garage or have like a glass door that folds down. I'm talking about not the money I have. That folds down in like the cold, but in the summer you open the thing up and you roll it out. And then you can like run and do like elliptical and stuff like that in the sun, kind of like on the deck or something like that, and just put it in and store it so it doesn't get rusty. But I love the outdoors, so. Live stream is great. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, just trying to get with you guys a little bit more often. It's definitely going to be something we do way more often. Maybe if I can do it every other week. Just stop in and say hi. I'm never going to put a timetable on it. Depends on how, how I go.
Neal has said he wants to go live a lot more. So next time I will be more prepared. I will not have already had my bath and my shower.
I just feel like it's a good way to come to you. Like a lot of times, like I found myself to where we're getting hit from all angles, so it's hard to prioritize like what comments you see and answer to, and it's not definitely not being unthankful. You know, it's a good problem to have. I just can't physically respond to everybody. And this is so much. If you saw the way I type and how many times I press backspace or how many times Google says, I don't understand what the heck you're saying, then you'll know that it's hard for me to even type comments. I've always been good at endurance, but not speed. Even when I weighed 180 in high school, I had the stamina for days. I didn't weigh 180 in high school until I came out of the cruise from the Navy. I was like 204 out of high school. I had to lose weight just to enter the Navy. I was a big boy. Thinking. Always already using pellet grill and kettle ideas. That's awesome. Laughing my off. Running looks like a little gay dude in Kung Fu Panda with the red underwear. It just looks stupid and feels unnatural. I couldn't run to the toilet. Boy, the other day I could have. And nothing was going to stop me either. Let's see, as I sit here trying to figure out what business you guys had, I rolled out the screen door sector. Yes. I've also been using a combination of smoked sous vide. I've got an idea that I told my wife the other day I'm going to try with sous vide. I'm not going to share it yet because I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it's not out there. I just haven't seen it. It could be a really fun thing. I'm going to actually video and see what happens. Thanks, not little. Just stay behind the, just stay behind the cooking equipment and let yourself go like one of the other favorite channels. Malcolm Reed Barbecue, right? Hey buddy, hey wife. Love the two channels, inspiring both areas. Appreciate that. Do you have a nearby forest or plantation in the Appalachia? Because I saw you once in the front yard with trees in the video. No, we just have land. We're not like stacked in like a really thick neighborhood. Our neighborhood's a lot older, and typically older neighborhoods have a lot more land. They don't stack them on top of each other like they do now. So we're fortunate. I had to do that because one of my jobs in detailed, or the business that we had in detailed a cargo trailer. So I had to have land, flat land, and no HOAs and no restrictions. So it kind of put us in a predicament to have an older house to begin with. Cedarwood, love it. So I think the cedarwood is probably right on the teeter. So you got to hear this out the correct way. The cedarwood itself was right on the teeter of a tier 2 to tier 1. But the accessories that the cedarwoods offer make it a tier 1 option. So is it one of my favorites? It just depends on what I'm making. I think it makes, today I posted on Pellets and Pits. Today was a perfect day of why the cedarwood was a better smoker today than what the Traeger is on other days. I do think the cedarwood creates a drier product, and people are like, oh, you overcook it. We cook enough to know what we overcooked and what we don't. That's not overcooked. It's just I can't explain it until you have it side by side. So when you're trying to render a wing, the fat, the Traeger didn't render as much fat out, which makes for a chewier skin. The Weber, even in the sounds, if you pay attention when I pan, the sounds of the Weber at the same temperature were like sizzling. And you can hear the fat dripping. When you go to the Traeger, you didn't hear any of that, which is why the Weber wings were able to render fat more. So I think the cedarwood is a home run for Weber. They know it. It was a good, it was definitely a good, that one. I didn't have the one before then. That was a disaster for them. They know that. But they hit this one out of the park. They really, really, really took what you guys have said at heart. I know you guys don't think that a lot, but they really got back to their customer basis. They really engineered from the ground up all the missed things that they had on the first one, and really came swinging for this one. I think they really hit it. Pellets and Pits, nice, because they're set it and forget it. And offset takes time to make temperature. Yep. Any guidance to cook Mediterranean? Go for it. We love Mediterranean. Mediterranean is one of my favorites. We made homemade naan. So on my health kick, like for example, what you guys didn't see on the Pellets and Pits, I made a sauce off camera because I didn't want to hear the comments. Sometimes you can just only handle so much negativity. And that's a good thing about social media. Why be on social media if you can't handle it? So I did a Greek-only, quote-unquote, ranch. Greek yogurt only. And honestly, it was fantastic because you're cutting a ton a ton of unnecessary fats out. But we make Greek or Mediterranean stuff all the time. We always have feta. We always have olives.
We always have hummus.
Yeah. And like, you want to show them the Josephs? Do we have Josephs? Oh, we have the Josephs wrap. And we have, so a lot of times you could do like Mediterranean style, like chicken. And we'll season up with like avocado oil, lemon juice, Greek seasoning.
I don't know if we have those.
Anyway, there's a brand out there called Joseph's. And Joseph's makes a really, really good.
Like a heart healthy pita that we eat a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a flaxseed, like kind of lower carb.
All right, for the volume, we're going to have to do something. My DJI is running out of volume, so I'm going to cut this off.
Well, it's been an hour. Or the volume. Oh.
So you need to unplug that.
Okay.
You need to unplug it and turn it off. So if my volume sounds or echoey, that's just a part of it. And just make sure you guys can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, like we said, we were not prepared for this. Neal just decided spontaneously, so our microphone was not charged.
What's your favorite 20-minute or less meal on the grill with easy prep for picky eaters? So we just did one. Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken bites.
Barbecue chicken bites and buttered corn. So I really think what it really comes down when you talk about easy and you talk about less prep is the amount of effort you put into it. Because what's easy to me, maybe not what's easy to you. I can sit here and prep all day and just run through the vegetables, marinate. I mean, being in the kitchen is easy for me. It's not as easy for my wife, right? So it takes her, like I could honestly probably cut chicken, marinate it, cut a cucumber, cut a tomato, cut lettuce, cut a hard-boiled egg. I could actually make the whole salad before she's probably honestly cutting and cleaning chicken, the cutting board. So that's not really necessarily fair. I just think the amount of effort you put into it is probably the easiest way to go. So if you need to buy prepackaged stuff, you know, like if you go to the vegetable counter, you're paying more for it, but they already have pre-sliced vegetables and stuff like that. If that helps you out because you're busy and you think that speeds you up, go for it.
But yeah, like our barbecue chicken bites with the
one. You know, like
buttered corn. I would say like a stir fry. Like you just kind of like throw in whatever you have.
It just depends on how many vegetables, because once again, the amount of prepping vegetables.
Yeah, but
if
they're big vegetables, like potatoes or bell peppers, you know, you do like a cowboy stir fry with like smoked sausage and potatoes and, you know, broccoli, whatever you have in your fridge. That's easy.
I disagree with her. If you haven't tried all the spice blends that Neal and Amy have, get them. They are amazing. I've been using them since they first offered them. Awesome products. Well, I appreciate that, Steve. Does your wife have a channel? She's dabbled. She does have a channel. It's called...
So I have a mom lifestyle website that's definitely a completely different audience than the Flat Top King audience.
Yeah, you guys can look up The Savvy Sparrow.
It's all about...
And you guys can actually see her in action. How about cooking something live? We did. The very first time we cooked it live. We did a couple other cooking things. To me, this is just getting back to the audience, answering many questions as possible. There's no rhyme or reason to stay or anything like that. You can leave and go whenever you want to. So I'm just here to answer the questions, connect with you guys. I know you guys don't get a chance to do it often, and that's why I want to do it more often, because I feel like there's more bang for the buck here. And I know where the new ideas and recipes, if you know, they're going to be released of your own salt and pepper garlic season based on the mixes. Moment. When are you going to release your own salt, pepper, and garlic season? The basic name of the mix leaves me at moment. You mean like all that? The one that we use for pellets and pits?
Oh, the Texas rub.
The Texas style rub. All
That's
purpose.
so easy to make yourself.
I've always felt guilty because it's only 4 household ingredients, and I felt like as long as you can buy the salt and pepper is included, right? Then you got seasoned salt, and you have garlic powder. So
the recipe is on pelletsandpits.com for that, though. You can make it yourself.
Yeah. That's why I feel guilty for selling it. You know, it's like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. I know people think like, oh, all he does is a salesman. Well, it's not really true. When you can make it yourself with 4 simple ingredients, then I just let people make it. And plus, you can add to it. Heck, if you want to add onion powder, if you want to add a different type of seasoned salt, there's Lowry's, there's Johnny seasoned salt. There's other ones out there. Hello from Arizona. Love Arizona. West Virginia.
Why don't you ask what people want to see us make in the future?
What griddle would you suggest that's the most wind resistant? I think as more griddles come out, the more the fact that they're aware of wind resistant. There's a griddle on my deck right now that nobody knows about. It's got wind guards in it. I think most Blackstones now have wind guards. The Traeger sits inside. The Weber had it, or has it. I don't know if there's one. I think the Traeger would probably be the most wind resistant because it sits inside. So if that's, if wind is something, I think the more the griddles come out, the more they're looking at that. I don't think there's one that does better than another, but the Traeger flat rock does sit inside. Have you ever cooked pasta on your griddle? I have. We've had great success with it. It's not like we're boiling pasta. I wouldn't boil pasta on the griddle. I would boil pasta inside and then take it outside. We've done scampi. We did that tomato garden vegetable. We've done Alfredo. Of course, that popular one, tortellini. Todd Tobin from Blackstone has like a
Tortellini.
Yeah, well, it's called tortellini.
Tortellini. But he calls it tortellini.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Honey. But he's got a billion views off that thing. But he makes a really good one. The sausage, the vinaigrette, the spinach, the tomatoes, all that stuff. I actually like pasta on the griddle because I feel like it gets a little nutty taste. Believe it or not, I'm telling you, you boil pasta, and some chefs out there, depending on what recipe it is, will throw it in a pan with a little bit of butter, and it'll kind of get nutty because they'll start tossing the pasta, and the butter will start getting a little bit more higher heat and start like toasting the pasta. That's what a griddle does. And if you're really true to yourself about what eating is all about, is texture. Obviously, all the senses. Texture is one of them. It really changes the way you eat your pasta. Our Asian noodle style. I love it on the Asian noodle.
Yeah.
I always would rather have
like lo mein.
Yeah, the texture of it is so much better when it gets a little nutty note on it. What's your favorite type of food, and what's your favorite type? We just eat it all. I think Mexican is probably my favorite, but I just like cooking all. The other day we had the family over and we made Italian. I made homemade lasagna, like from scratch. I didn't make the pasta from scratch, but everything else. Heck, just honestly, a good pickle brine fried chicken tender, or we make steaks a lot because I feel like it's high protein, low impact. Like I've been trying to get away from ribeye, so I do a lot of sirloin right now.
We love all food. The only thing I do not eat, like the
Sushi?
only thing I do not eat, is liver.
Yeah, I actually like liver. I love that. I love chicken livers. I love them fried. Hey, let me tell you something. A fried chicken liver poor boy with like a remoulade, spicy remoulade, out of bounds. I love calf liver with onions and bacon, mashed potatoes, a little gravy. I don't like Brussels sprouts, and I don't want to hear a word. I've never had them cooked right. Trust me, I've tried them enough to know I do not like Brussels sprouts. Had them in slaw, had them with bacon, had them in balsamic vinegar, had them roasted, had them boiled, had them steamed, had them air fried, had them crisp, had them Parmesan cheese. I do not care. I do not like Brussels sprouts. I like sushi. I like a lot of sushi. All right, let's go through the things real quick. Oh, so going forward, let's plan together as a community what you guys want me to cook. Obviously, we have tons of videos, but we need to be a little bit more like narrowed down focused. I don't want to get like way off the wall. I think sometimes when you're struggling for ideas, you're trying to throw noodles on the wall, see what sticks, and I'm trying to get away from that. From Texas,
Yakisoba.
I know these things.
Oh.
Thank you. I love watching bench scrapers. You can make any griddle winner. Yep. Thing I go to from Jacksonville, Florida. Love the channel as far as recipes. Like to see you attempt probably more copycat recipes. 5 Guys. I agree. It's tough. Oh, for example, so we did a thick burger video, and I never intended for the video to be like an animal style, but in my mind I was thinking grilled onions, and then I was like, well, if you do grilled onions and let's throw sauce, if you throw sauce, then let's make our own sauce, right? So then I started looking up animal style sauce because we went to In-N-Out Burger when we went to Phoenix for the very first time, and when I looked online, I couldn't find a copycat recipe. So I think a lot of times what I found, even with 5 Guys, copycats are BS because they're truly never going to give you the exact recipe. I guess we can make our own rendition out of it. But one of the cool things that we got to experience, which I value the most, was a viewer just like you all. Dad started one of the first Dairy Queens, I think, in Phoenix. And before they even started serving burgers, I can't remember the story, but he gave me the original recipe of what his dad did, exactly how they made it, from a hands-on experience. And that was really neat. And we did that, and that was called like DQ's First Burger. I really enjoyed that because I knew how much it meant to him, and I knew what it would be like if it was my dad. And so that's the kind of things I get emotional about. I'm an emotional guy. But I just remembered you did your Lobster Tails New Year's Eve. They were awesome.
Oh, did he do?
Are you talking about smoked lobster? Mark Radis 5951. Did you do smoked lobster tails or lobster tails on the griddle? Because that's coming up soon. Sorry, why site that explains the See, I told you we're busy people. I think your audience would generally kitchen tool cooking as well. How about some Old Navy chili mac? I need a good recipe. That is on. That will be made. 100% guaranteed. I am making chili mac, and then I'm in the same video. I'm gonna make 2 separate ones: chili mac Navy way and chili mac my way. Because in the Navy, when you first started making chili mac, the higher up the ladder you got, the better your chili mac was expected to be. And there was a lot of fist fights. There was a lot of wrestling. There was a lot of crap talking. There was a lot of what's it called, mentally, like once you carry the crown, you know, like prestige, bragging rights. If you made good chili mac, if you cut down somebody's chili mac, you're getting a fist to the face. I'm telling you that right now. So you knew right away that chili mac was how the ship ran. Besides breakfast, if you produced a dry chili mac, you're off. You're done. You're never coming back. You're done. And the higher you went up, so there's one time in the Navy where, like, my ultimate goal when I first got to the Navy, I knew it right away to be the captain's cook, because that was the highest of the high. And as I worked my way up, I went from the galley to the chief's mess, and from the chief's mess, I actually got into the wardroom. And then S2 and S5 started mingling, and then I was actually able at one time to control not only the chief's mess, but the wardroom. Not control, but I was in charge. And then on top of that, I was the captain's cook. So damn, near did the whole thing. I was in charge of the chief's mess for a little small time until we got somebody in there, the wardrobe, and the captain's cook. And I guarantee that chili mac was on point. I had some really fun people that were in charge of me. I'm not going to say their names out of respect for them, but I really enjoyed my time with them, and they really took me by their hip and taught me a lot. I was in the Navy for 30 years, hospital corpsman. Boy, thank you for your service. 30 years is a long time. I appreciate you more than you know. But there's echo, not bad though. Yeah, I'm sorry. We had to cut our mics off, and it is echoey. We have tall ceilings. Tell your wife hello, hello, because you're dropping the microphone. Don't say it. May I suggest you ask that the comments be made regular from all questions being made in capitals? Make Indian food on the griddle. We
have one video. We have a good friend who is Jess.
We did
it one time, yeah.
Shish kebab, not shish kebab. Shish kebab. I love
authentic.
Standard.
We went to an Indian supermarket.
Went to an Indian supermarket.
And it was fantastic, yeah.
She walked us around. She showed us all the stuff, and then we came back and we made what she would call a traditional style homemade naan, homemade shish kebab, the yogurt sauce, and then the vegetables. Phenomenal. Matter of fact, I swear to you this, if you like that, She actually used the instant powder. You remember that powder, the shish kebab powder?
Yeah, I wonder.
We dry rub fillets. Listen to me. Dry rub fillets. No, we don't have any more. I use it all. We use the packet, and I season the fillets about medium. Not light, not heavy, about a medium. Let them sit in the refrigerator overnight. And then grilled them, and then just had a yogurt sauce left over. Holy crap. I don't know why more people don't do it. That was one of the better fillets that we've ever had when it comes to intensity of flavor, because all that seasoning, I didn't mix it or anything like that. Look at that dang bone in my tooth from earlier. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yes, traditional Texas rub is salt, pepper only. I'm from Texas. I know things. Love watching you. Always look for your episodes. Thank you, Lance. Lance, how you doing, brother? Yesterday, Indian-inspired meals. We did that. Bench scrapers to make any girl. Okay, somehow it went back up, so let me start scrolling down here. I'm not allowed to fan liver either. Richard, what time of master Bill? Let's see some yakisoba noodles from and pork fingers.
Pork fingers.
Can you, Dave Moss 6792, explain pork fingers to me, please? And yakisoba is very similar. So my grandfather used to be stationed in Japan and has like an actual authentic yakisoba recipe. But when I looked at it, I was surprised how many ingredients wasn't in it. Maybe that's the whole point of the thing. But besides the cabbage, I didn't really feel like it imparted like a ton of flavor from the recipe I saw. Maybe that's in the Americanized version that I envisioned, and maybe that's completely wrong, which that's fine. But we could do yakisoba. That's another noodle on the griddle. Air Force Dining Hall, liver and onions. Dang, missed them now. Something that you've never done before on a pellet grill. I have not done liver on a pellet grill. Not in my Navy. I think a series of very fast time cooks would be fantastic. No, cook it and refine it and put it on there. We can see your process.
But so someone said, no, cook it and refine it. See your process. Was that the comment? So a lot of our YouTube videos, it basically is the process. Like we do not plan. We do not edit a lot. What you see is what you get. And when you say, like, we don't like refine, like very rarely we'll make something and then we'll be like, we could make this better. But most of the time, like there is no, like you are seeing the process. Yeah, like it's like genuine.
If you put like steak on the griddle and it takes like 2 minutes, I'm not going to have the video played for those 2 minutes because it's just standing there unless we're doing something else. So she is right. A lot of times there is nothing that you guys don't see. So a variety of finger foods would be cool as Super Bowl is approaching. Something like jalapeno poppers, meatballs, boneless wings. Next week we're posting something I think you guys will absolutely love when it comes to griddle cooking. We loved it. The family loved it. The kids loved it. The in-laws loved it. Phenomenal. Like, I mean, it was super, super, super good. What was the most weirdest meal requested by the Navy captain? Absolutely nothing. The guy was plain Jane basic. Matter of fact, a lot of majority of the times, he would just say, just grab me stuff off the line. Like, he did not care at all. Food was not his focus. The captain before that, I did not have a chance to be the captain's cook for him. That captain cook was phenomenal. Like, he had, in my opinion, the best job in the world. He got to go shop in ports. He got to create different things. My captain was just like, I don't give two craps. I can have a bowl of cereal and be fine. It's like, whatever's off the line. So it was never anything that was intrusive, never anything that we had to work hard for. It was about the basics. He was a basic person. If it was a burger, it was ketchup and bun. If it was chicken, he just wanted grilled chicken and rice. When I say basic, it was basic. Gotta go. Thanks for taking care of all you do. I appreciate you. Give me mad. I gave mad respect for the Navy guys. When shit hit the fan, the rest of us had a whole content to run. The Navy runs out of steel very quick and have a complete with sharks. I've been a Gold Star father since 2014. Troy in Tennessee, brother. Hit me up, Troy in Tennessee. Hit me up privately. Email, notifications, something. Troy in Tennessee. Navy. Never again volunteer yourself. Again, Nassau. Never a set sail, always at sea, always underway. Never a set sail, always underway, or something like that.
Never at shore.
Never at store.
No.
Never. I can't remember what the Nassau stood for.
The Nassau was your ship.
Yeah.
For those that don't know that you were.
Never again.
Someone said a video what we do immediately post cook to clean up.
More camping cooks would be nice. Greg, we tried camping and every single person in my family despised it. Now I did like going down that little river catching fish.
In fairness, we have 2 teenage daughters, so
Hot water, they need it. We needed it. Like I wanted to enjoy the camping experience. I'm a hotel guy. More camping, but I would love. What I'd like to do is take the griddle more off. So I'll promise you this: instead of camping cooks, let's take the griddle to like weird places and cook, just to get out of the house. So we might take it to the Smoky Mountains and do it. We might take it to like a river. We might take it to a lake or something like that. But I did not enjoy. Let me tell you something. We stayed in like an RV that was like probably more expensive than people. We only rented it. I'm just saying we only rented it. With inflation, it wasn't that expensive.
It was an Airbnb.
Basically, an Airbnb RV that was like top of the line, and the air conditioner couldn't keep up, and it was brutal. It was like 87 degrees inside. Of course, we're there for 3-hour stays, but still, like you got to pack everything and you got to take everything. And since we don't have an RV, you can't just leave stuff there. Like a lot of work for a dang pancake. Mud chicken is awesome. I don't even know what that is.
Mud chicken. I have to look that up.
I don't recall you making lo mein on the griddle. I have, actually. We just saw it today. Lo mein on the griddle is one of my favorite recipes.
We also have the recipe on our website.
We also have the recipe on the website. A video immediately post-cook setup. Really when it comes to post-cook, what happens is typically, I would say probably 70% of the time, immediately when the food gets plated, my wife takes photos for the websites or for the thumbnails or something like that. And we'll do a quick little cleanup. But while she's doing that, I can actually clean the griddle. And then once the griddle's clean, then we'll come back and that's when you'll see me sliding the stuff up and introducing the product and stuff like that. And if not, and I don't have the griddle completely clean, I'll start that process. And once we get done with the bite, I'll come back and clean it up. And then after that, we just bring the stuff in like a herd of cattle. Typically leave the dishes everywhere. Try to eat it so we have somewhat warm food. A lot of times we use the microwave. People don't really think about this, but like a lot of times in this business, you don't eat hot food. Like, you don't. You do not eat hot food. And then I'll start on dishes. So while I'm doing dishes, she'll start like doing our own job. So I made lo mein. It was so good. Lo mein is good. Is a griddle a griddle to you? Is a griddle, or do you lean towards Blackstone?
Do you get, like, a griddle is a griddle. You can cook on any griddle. That's why we have not ever signed any contracts with any particular company. I think is what they're saying. Like, do we lean towards Blackstone, or like, is a griddle a griddle? Like any griddle does like the same job, I think is what they're saying.
I do not think all griddles are even. Can I get some water? You're not letting me do that thing.
You're our ice maker.
Just water. That's ice.
A griddle is a griddle.
I don't think so.
There are griddles that perform better than others.
Yeah. So a griddle is a griddle. They all are a hot plate, but I feel like once you find a griddle that can stay on low and you can walk away from it and forget it, and once you find a griddle that doesn't go nuts, doesn't have like crazy hot spots where like the middle of your griddle is 600 degrees, the outside of your edge is like 300 degrees, I think your cooking process is way more enjoyable. Ultimately, if you've never had an even griddle and you've had some griddles actually heat up more from the right where the propane comes in and it like cools down as it gets away from it. We've had that problem with a couple other brands. I think it just comes down to what you're used to, what you're willing to accept. And I think that's why we get a lot of pushback from people that are like almost upset the fact that like, oh, you don't need all that junk. I've had my griddle for 25 years. I'm not saying you haven't had your griddle for 25 years, but cars didn't have windshield wipers on them when they first started either. But now every car in the world has a windshield wiper. They used to have a radio. Now most cars don't even have a radio. They make you go through your cell phone and upload music or Spotify or something like that. I think a car we saw the other day, it was a friend's car. They don't even have navigation in the car. It's Apple CarPlay, so you connect your phone through the thing. And it all relies on your phone. So technology takes over. So once you have a good griddle, I think that's where the separation is. How about the Masterbuilt? Never had the Masterbuilt. I've always wanted to think that I would like the Masterbuilt. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, I've heard middle things. Probably need to experience myself. It does seem like the more videos I get into, they had a problem with one of them, or don't quote me, but it seems like they've come up with like another like 0.20 or 2.0 version that seems really cool. But it goes back to my theory and the reason why I've been hesitant on it. I do like the idea of the charcoal being gravity fed versus a pellet, okay? But not all charcoal is the same. Like I said, I'm a blue bag charcoal Kingsford charcoal fan for a reason. I think it's neutral. I do not think it puts off a lot of smoke. But I also don't think I would rely on that just for smoke alone. I've always added chunks of wood, peach, pecan, hickory, mesquite, oak, you name it. Now that I've had a lot of experience with Jealous Devil will knock your socks off with smoke. It is extremely strong. So I can see that being a benefit because you wouldn't have to add the extras. So I don't really see how my opinion could change when it comes to smoking. And that's what the Gravity series does. My granddad was in World War II. I can't know specifics, but Mom might know them. That's awesome. If your granddad's still alive, heck, even if not, thank him for his service. What? No whiskey? Not today. It's a lot of calories. I'm on a calorie deficit. I had some. You'll see the video. I had some the other day, and trust me, I think I had a fifth that day.
Ooh, the video you're talking about, that was fantastic.
Hate to hear that, brother. Heath Peterson, appreciate you. I appreciate the reviews on the griddles.
Hey,
Chef based on review. You also have pellet smoker. I love them both. Work great.
I saw Annette's comment that says she has to run and she hates to go. Annette, I'm about to pull him away too because it's movie night, and I told him he's watching a movie with me tonight. So we're about to cut it off anyway, so you won't miss much.
Pork loin butterflied and then cut into strips, and then chicken fried. Never made it, but curious. Enjoyed the live stream. I got to go to pull the ribs. Pull the ribs for me, brother. I appreciate it. That sounds pretty neat. Deep fried pork ribs.
Pork loin butterflied?
Like pork fingers.
Oh, what is the pork fingers? Ah, we'll add that to our list. Yeah, we'll look it up.
When I make a dinner plan or grocer's list, your website's the first one I go to. That's mad respect. I really appreciate that. The electric heats a little wood flakes. Just recently found your channel and getting a Blackstone for Christmas. That's awesome. Fogo Super Premium is neutral and it burns super well long. I couldn't go back to briquettes. I honestly need to try that, and that is the truth. I don't know why I haven't. I bought all my Jealous Devil. I bought all my Kingsford. I need to try that. I really do. Been lacking in that area. Hope you have a good night from British Columbia. See you, brother. Cheers. Spent 22 years in the Air Force. I did 2 years special duty in Pensacola Naval Station. Honestly, the Naval Galley had some of the best food ever had in the military. Todd Crockett. All right, guys. Let's give you a little sample. Make sure you press that like button. Subscribe if you can. Love the subscribers. Obviously, it helps YouTube and all that stuff. Get us out there. We're going to probably end this down pretty quick. But like I said, I'm going to do this more often. And then maybe we start planning cooks and all that stuff. I know when we did the Juicy Lucy the first time, you guys had a blast doing it. So maybe you guys come up with some ideas about what you'd like to do, cook along or something like that. I enjoy them.
Live cooks, yeah.
Yeah, live cooks. Of course, they need to be like less intrusive so I can focus on two things at once. I'm dyslexic, and it's really hard for me to do that. So the juice Lisa was something I could really do, because she would have to explain. She would have to give me the questions, and I have to prep and cook and talk. I can't walk and chew gum. So that being said, I'm getting off here, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for every single person that said they or their spouse or their grandparents or aunt, uncle, you name it, served in the military. Thank each and every one of you for the service. Much appreciated. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. Pound it on Facebook, share with your friends. Peace! Log it off. Hopefully.
It'll take us a while to figure out how to turn it off. Oh, that's my job, isn't it? Oh, I have to turn it off, I think. How do I do that?
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Bye, y'all.
Share it.
Good to talk to you. I don't know how to do this.
Well, press the stop button.
Yes.